Hello everyone, welcome to one another episode of Weekly Sectoral Analysis. Now we can see that the market is in a phase of turmoil and the market is not just falling, but it is falling very sharply. What is the reason for that? The reason for that is very simple. It's the war situation going in Iran between US, Israel and Iran, the rising crude prices and the sentiment. Basically, the sentiment drives the prices. Somewhere in this zone, there was a sort of support between 24,326 to 24,300, but somehow it couldn't take any U-turn. You can see these couple of candles which were giving us a slim ray of hope that maybe some sort of pullback is possible, but even that pullback could not come. You know, friends, that when momentum is very fast, see, there are two things. One is trend and one is momentum. Trend means when things are either falling or rising. But momentum ensures that the prices of that index fall very fast or rise very fast. So currently the momentum in this downtrend is very high, and that is the reason markets are not even taking a U-turn. And forget about a U-turn, probably just even a dead cat bounce, something like few hundred couple of points on the upside and then again sell off. वो भी नहीं हो रहा है, and that is happening due to simple momentum. Now where the prices will possibly take a halt, where will we see some sort of, you know, uh, pullback or a resting place for the market, it's very difficult to say. As of now, the next support is within the range of 22,778. That is one of the supports. And if you see all the candles which have been on the weekly and on the daily time frame chart, you can see all of them are negative. Only two candles on 9th March and 10th March, they were positive. But apart from that, recent in last 1 week, all of the negative candles were negative. Even over here in the weekly time frame chart, and the previous week's candle is a inverted hammer sort of thing, and this is also a negative candle with a bigger wick. So overall things are positive, but one thing is visible, that RSI is way below 30, which means we are not just oversold, but we are also overstretched on the downside. You can see the weekly RSI is close to 30 mark. कब गया था RSI 30 के करीब? Just look at this. It was possibly way back in the COVID period. And after that, 6 years later, RSI 14 is close to that 30 level in the weekly time frame chart. So this is a big thing. And the prices are pretty much away from the moving averages. Are we oversold and overstretched both in the weekly time frame charts? Probably yes. Now, will it bounce back? Will we see a relief rally? Frankly, in this sort of market, it is very difficult to predict. So rather than predicting, just stay on the sidelines and let things happen the way they are happening. जब अपने हाथ में कंट्रोल नहीं है तो क्यों परेशान होना? Sit peacefully and wait for things to happen, and on that data, on that particular piece of price data, we'll decide something. Bank Nifty. Now, in Bank Nifty, I would say that the overall trend is down in the daily time frame chart. Even the momentum is on the downside. If you see, the RSI is well below 30. Difference between the price and the moving averages is also slightly higher, which means we are overstretched on the downside also. And if I see this particular trend line, I mean, this trend line I had shared on Twitter also. This was a decent trend line because this was holding on since 13th June 2022. You can imagine the amount of momentum and power in this move, that before even bouncing back from here, because those are buys for a trend line, is a big trend line. It's a very old trend line. Before even bouncing back, it has been able to close below it. So this is the power of momentum right now. And when power of momentum works, nothing comes in between. So again, If you just check the trend and momentum of the daily time frame chart, I would suggest that it is down. In the weekly time frame chart, yes, it is looking down vertical, but according to me it is still flat because overall it is within 62,000 and 53,750 or something. So we are probably a little bit flattish in terms of momentum, in terms of state of trend. If you have a bounce back, and then again if you have a selling opportunity at higher prices in Bank Nifty, then maybe we will have some sort of negativity in the state of trend in Bank Nifty. PSU banking space. PSU banking space, again, trend and momentum over here is flat. In the weekly time frame chart, you can see overall in this region, see this move is different. This is very fast, very swift, and this is like choppy up, down, something like that. So I think this is not a place, not a region where it is easy for any trader to make money, because we need trending markets, low volatility trending markets, or even if they are high volatility, they should be straight away on the downside. So currently it's not visible. So the trend and momentum is on the sidelines. As a trader, I would certainly like to stay away from this particular sector. In private banking space, I think the trend and momentum is down in the weekly time frame chart. You can see the RSI also is well below 50. Price has closed below the previous low, which was somewhere around in September 2025. We can see RSI 14 is below the 30 level mark in the daily time frame chart, and there is a decent space, a lot of space in fact, between the price and moving averages. This is a sign that we are overstretched on the downside. Now, are we going to pull back or not? ये कहना बहुत मुश्किल है. And to be very frank, if someone is a derivative trader and he would say that, oh fine, okay, if market is going to correct further on the downside, I would probably, trade in derivatives on the downside, on the short side. But well, where will one keep a protective stop or something like that? It's going to be very, very difficult. When there is a lot of space between the moving averages and the price, it's not going to be easy to trade. So I think, again, as a trader, I would like to stay away from the private banking space. Oil and gas, I think slowly and steadily, initially it was flattish, according to me. It was flattish, but now it's turning negative. It's slowly and steadily, it's turning negative. This was positive, then it entered into a choppy zone. Now it is turning negative. It's not that overstretched, so probably a pullback in the daily time frame chart might be used as a selling opportunity by the bears. So be careful from the oil and gas space. Autopack. Autopack, if you see properly, then it is basically in a downtrend in the daily time frame chart. The trend and momentum is on the downside. It's vertically falling. RSI is also below 30, which is a sign that it is oversold. But mind one thing, when momentum is very, very high in the shorter term time frame, RSI going below the oversold zone is very much possible. Also, if you see in the auto space, in the weekly time frame chart, this is the high, the highest high, I should say, in the recent times. Then we have a low, then we have once again a high, and this high is lower than the previous one, and then we have a lower low. So as per Dow theory also, we are into a downtrend and the momentum is also on the downside. So as a long only trader, I would like to stay away from this auto pack and would like to wait for times to improve. Consumer durables. Consumer durables, according to me, is a weaker sector, and it tried a lot in the last few weeks to get into the positive zone, but once I think the war was announced, things started getting bad, and now the momentum is not very high in the daily time frame chart, but it's trying to hold on. But if the negativity continues in the weekly time frame chart, you will see prices falling on the downside. So be careful in this sector as well. Consumption pack. Consumption pack seems to be weak, and not just weak, extremely weak. This is the first sign of weakness. Then we saw a bounce back with a very big candle, and then suddenly, immediately, in fact, the bears were active and they pushed the prices further down. And now the weekly RSI is below 30. Now in this sector, when did the RSI went below probably 30? Again, way back in the COVID time. So this is a very, very oversold level. Now, is there any space to pull back? The answer is yes. We have a lot of space on the upside to pull back because the prices are far away from the moving averages. In the daily time frame chart, not that much, but in the weekly time frame chart, a lot. Now, will it pull back? As of now, we don't have any signs which are signaling that we might have some sort of pullback which were present over here. Over here, we had positive candles, we had positive divergence, but over here, nothing. Even over here, nothing. So I think we should stay put and wait for better signals. In the finance pack, let's have a look at the finance pack. Now, in the finance pack, we can see that we had a higher high over here, a low. Once again, we had a higher high, and then we have broken down this low as well. So the trend momentum in the weekly time frame chart is down. The RSI is oversold in the daily time frame chart. Prices are falling vertically in the daily time frame chart. So probably a pullback in the finance pack will probably get sold out on the downside. Be careful. Don't get stuck in shallow pullbacks on the upside in the finance pack. Just be careful about it. FMCG. In the FMCG pack, we can clearly see that the trend momentum has been on the downside since weeks, months. In between, there was some sideways choppy move consolidation, but it didn't last, and the overall weakness is continuing. RSI below 30 in the weekly as well as in the daily time frame chart. So overall, the biasness is certainly on the downside. IT pack, I think I should not say anything because यहाँ पे RSI 30 के नीचे, it has been from a very long time in the weekly time frame chart, and especially in the daily time frame chart. You can see this is disastrous, but this is happening, and even the rising dollar has not helped this time. But generally, when dollars are going up, even in a negative global situation, IT tries to move up, but this time this is also not happening. So this is very sad, but this is the reality. So overall, trend momentum is on the downside, but yes, there is one reading that we can say a lot of difference between the price and RSI, which means we are overstretched on the downside. Infra pack. Infra pack, recent high, then a low, then one more high. This high was lower than the previous one, and then we have made a lower low. So the trend momentum is on the downside. Be careful if there is any pullback. And if it's a shallow pullback, be very, very careful. Don't get stuck in short-term long positions in infra pack. Yes, stock selective, it's a different thing, but overall, I think the biasness in the infra pack is on the downside. Metal. Now, metals is a little bit different story. In metals, I would say that what has recently happened, the trend momentum was on the upside. I have even posted some readings on Twitter, and there is some sort of resistance over here in metal pack, due to which we have seen this particular sell-off. And there was a support at 11,600, which I have been sharing in last 2 weeks video, that as far as we are above 11,600, things are fine. But as soon as we start closing below it, then things will probably be a little bit worrisome, which has started. So overall, in the higher time frame charts, in the monthly time frame charts, things are okay. They are not that bad. But in the weekly time frame chart, before we take a leg on the upside, maybe either there could be a retracement, a further retracement on the downside, or maybe the metal pack can go choppy or sideways. इन दोनों में से एक चीज हो सकती है. So again, for a long only trader, it's not going to be very easy. Be careful about it. Pharma pack, yes, the candle is not that great of the previous week's close, I would agree. But overall trend momentum is certainly on the upside. So after this candle, I would say that once again, if we have a rally on the upside, bulls will try to take advantage of it and they will try to break this high. PSE. PSE, again, the trend and momentum in the weekly time frame chart is up, positive. But due to the overall sentiment of the market, the way markets are falling in each and every sector, it's falling vertically. Maybe I feel that is the reason due to which markets, especially the PSE sector, is not able to rally fast on the upside. It's pretty choppy. So the biasness is on the upside, but trend and momentum, especially momentum likes speed, which is not visible in the sectoral chart of PSE sector. That is one particular thing which I can see, but overall biasness so far is positive. Realty pack, I have been sharing this multiple times. Realty is one of the most weaker sectors. RSI also below 30 in the weekly time frame chart. RSI in the daily time frame chart also below 30, and things continue to deteriorate for the realty pack. Overall, it's a weaker sector. Over here in between, few days back, there was a chance maybe something could improve because there was a higher low in RSI over here. But again, we have a breakdown of this lows. Things are not looking that great. If we have pullback from here onwards, ये भी एक possibility है. Sometimes it can happen that it can break the positive divergence and then it can rally. It can happen, but I think it will depend a lot on the overall sentiment of the market, because what is happening daily is, well, at 9:15, if you start your trading terminal or the trading view, immediately you will see a gap down. Immediately everything will get sold into and then nothing is left to do anything for the entire day. So if that sort of market continues, it's going to be really difficult. Okay. So India Defense. India Defense also as a sector, trend momentum is on the upside. I should consider this as a retracement. Only thing which I don't like over here is the prices have fallen in a matter of 3 to 4 days very fast. The size of the candles are also very fast, unlike over here. Unlike here, it was like a shallow pullback and the candles were small and suddenly there was a rally on the upside. This time it might be very, very difficult. So far the biasness is still positive, but now this time we'll have to be slightly careful that is this a deeper pullback or is it going to be something even worse? वो सिर्फ time बताएगा. Midcaps, trend momentum clearly on the downside. You can see a higher high, then a lower high, then the previous one, this low, and again the breakage of this low. So overall trend and momentum, the biasness is certainly on the downside. As a long only trader, I would like to avoid. Overall, I think the current phase of the market is where we can't do much anything. Neither as a derivative trader you can do anything. Yeah, maybe if someone is holding on from higher levels, it's a different thing, but at these levels, it can be dangerous. There are sectors like metal pack, which were positive, which are now showing signs that things are getting jittery and worrisome. Pharma looks positive. Then you can say sector like PSE is also holding well, and India Defense also. But India Defense we saw that there was a deeper pullback which needs to be taken care of. So there are 2-3 pockets where things are looking okay. But I should say the meaty part, like things like IT or private banking space or oil and gas, auto pack, all these sectors which have the heavyweights in terms of weightage in Nifty, they are all looking negative. So I think have a seat back, थोड़ा सा relax रहिए, देखिए market में क्या होता है, don't jump in very, very fast. All right, trade very, very less and trade wisely. Thank you.